The truth about how I beat other wholesalers out on every single deal. What is up guys, Zach Ginn here, and in today's video, I want to reveal my secrets on how I beat my competition when it comes to other wholesalers trying to beat me out on wholesaling deals. The truth was, ever since I was really 18, 19, 20 years old, no other wholesaler that was making way more money than me was able to beat me out on deals because I followed very simple, stupid, easy principles that led me to destroy and beat my competition. The truth is, I still use these principles to this day as a 7-figure wholesaler who makes millions of dollars a year to still beat out beginners and my other competition in my local and virtual wholesaling markets. So let's break this all down. So the first rule we have to understand about making a ton of money in wholesaling real estate is whoever cares more about the seller and the deal is going to win out. So if we have two wholesalers that are competing head to head, the person that cares more about getting the seller's needs met and actually understanding and listening to the seller, that's gonna be the key to your success. Heck, most of wholesaling that I've seen when it comes to building rapport is just listening with your ears. That's right, just listening to what your motivated seller has to say, even when it sounds stupid, is going to lead you to doing more wholesaling real estate deals. If you care more about the seller, you will win out. So listen to your seller, hear what they have to say, actually have empathy, not sympathy with them. You'll win out against your competition. Now, the next and such a super important framework that I've used to beat out any other wholesaler in my market is by not bad-mouthing them or chasing my seller. And what I mean by that is, let's talk about chasing sellers first. Do not act desperate to buy the deal. Do not act desperate that you need to go get this deal right now or else. Kind of act nonchalant, kind of just stand back away. This is just like dealing with a dog on the loose. When a dog is on the loose, if you chase after the dog's gonna think it's funny and just keep running away like it's a game. Your motivated seller actually does the same thing. Now, when my dog used to just run out the field or run out the house by accident, I never chased after him. The key here is you run away from the dog. The mentality shifts to where that person doesn't want to chase me. I guess it's not fun to be running away. I want to go chase them now, and then they chase you. That's the same exact mentality happens with motivated sellers. Don't run away exactly from them, but don't be afraid to leave and kind of be a little disinterested about buying the house because you have so many other houses to buy. This type of mindset has led me to closing more wholesaling deals than not, and something your competition is clearly not doing. This is going to be the difference between you closing the deal and the motivated seller not. Now, on top of this too, you should never badmouth your competition. Don't ever say anything bad about Johnny next door or the other guy trying to buy the house. Doing that only makes you seem like a vindictive and jealous person, and your motivated seller is never gonna like that. Now, the next thing that I've always done to get a lot of wholesaling deals is by just showing credibility. And I'm not saying you should go out here and whip out 30 HUDs, but what you should probably do instead is use your cash buyer's credibility. Hey, me and my partner Rick, we buy about 20 to 30 houses a year. And guess what? If your cash buyer Rick is buying 30 houses a year, you can mention that because you and him together are actually buying that many houses a year. And yes, he's gonna be on the HUD and he's gonna buy it with you. That's stuff your competition really doesn't know how to do, and it works out really well. Saying something like that will also avoid the seller trying to get proof of funds instantly, which isn't the biggest deal in the world because you can use your buyer's proof of funds with you. But just showing credibility makes them feel more comfortable with you, especially when you have a buyer next to you and with you. It always helps you out because when I was 18, 19 years old, I was always partners with my cash buyer because it showed me as the 19-year-old guy that looked a lot younger than I am now. It gave me a lot more credibility with the motivated seller. Now, the next lesson, and probably one of the most important ones, is just be relatable. Be someone that your motivated seller can trust and understand. If your motivated seller can't want to have a drink or hang out with you, it's not a good sign that you're going to get that wholesaling deal. You want to be relatable to your seller. You want to have some rapport with your motivated seller where that person actually wants to be with you and they actually don't get sad or roll their eyes when you call them. Because when it comes back to 5 or 6 other wholesalers in the area, the reason why you're going to win out on these deals is because you're relatable. You talk like a regular person. The problem is when you talk to your motivated sellers like, hey, this is Zach with Zach Home Solutions, and we give you a financing offer in an apartment, and we can look at this. It's just, you're so fake and you're so corporate and salesy, and nobody likes that. No one likes a salesy type person. It just seems like someone's trying to make money off of you. What you should be instead is a relatable person. Now, you probably don't have this problem, but don't be pulling up in a crazy souped up Lamborghini or Mercedes. If you just pull up in a regular Ford or regular car, you are gonna be more relatable to the motivated seller than with the crazy sports car. Stuff like that that's really tiny is something that really gets the edge over your motivated sellers that no one really ever talks about. Heck, if you have kids, talk about how you have kids and how the seller has kids and how that's relatable to you. Just little things that seem relatable are definitely gonna help you out in this process. If you're stuck on trying to build rapport or become relatable to your motivated sellers, just think of the Ford method, F-O-R-D. F stands for family, O stands for your occupation, R stands for recreation, and D stands for dreams. Just follow that acronym and you'll be able to close a ton of wholesaling real estate deals. Now, the next thing I have to talk about is something that a lot of you guys are just overthinking. Stop trying so hard. I cannot stress this enough. A lot of you guys are so stressed and tensed about closing your wholesaling deal with your motivated seller. You guys are just trying way too hard to get the motivated seller to like you or to try to close the deal. If it doesn't fit, if the seller is not motivated enough, if it's just not the right rapport, it's okay. It's not the end of the world if you don't close the deal. But there's some unwritten body language you give out when you're super desperate and nervous that the seller's just not gonna wanna go with you. They're gonna go with the calm, cool, collected person that trusts the process and is confident in buying the house with them or their partner. Stop trying so hard and be confident, you'll be good to go. Now, the next thing here is just following up religiously with your motivated sellers. This is one thing I've always done that's always given me the edge with my competition and something you should be doing right now, but always follow up. If the seller has a little bit of hint of wanting to sell the property, make sure you go out here and call them once a week or every other week until they set the appointment and you can close the deal. The wholesalers that follow up religiously and just keep in the seller's mind that this is the guy looking to buy my house and I'm gonna go with him is the one that always picks up. And usually your motivated seller, when they decide they finally wanna sell their house, they do it and they make the decision and the first person to call them, they go with that person. So you need to be following up with your seller right now as soon as possible, at least once a week. You might be stressed like, oh my gosh, what do I say on the follow-up? Pretty simple. Hey, this is Zach, just reaching out, seeing if anything with the property has changed. Are you looking to sell it now? Or are you still waiting? Like, what's going on? Maybe it's a minute long, something stupid, but as long as you're just following up religiously and consistently, you'll do well. Next here, and this is super important, but this is speed, speed, speed. Kind of like I said before in the follow-up, like you gotta be fast, you gotta be fast. Like I said before, these motivated sellers, whoever's the first person that decides to call them, text them, or get in front of them over the phone to get that appointment, they go with them. They want to get rid of it right now, quick, easy for cash. So what you need to be doing is being fast, being efficient, being the first person to go see the seller. If you're not first, you're in last. And that's the point here when talking to your motivated sellers. And last but not least, and I cannot stress this enough, never ever compete with price with your competition. Stop trying to do this. This is a broke person's mentality for wholesaling. If you're broke in wholesaling, this is what you're doing. Do not compete with your competition on price. If I'm trying to buy a house for 300 grand and another wholesaler offered 320, I'm just gonna tell the seller, go with the guy at 320, but make sure he actually is buying properties for cash and he can close the deal as soon as possible, just like me. If he can't, he's probably not legit and not serious about buying your house. I'm here right now, Mr. Seller. I'm ready to buy it. If you're willing to do 300, we can make the deal happen right now. The truth is, a lot of times your competition is just gonna throw out a stupid high price to try to beat you on that. And when you play the bidding war, the only person that benefits is the title company because they get higher closing fees. The truth is, you should not be competing on price. You have to compete on speed, credibility, and convenience. The people that compete on price are the ones making $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on a deal. You're watching this video because you want to do $15,000, $20,000, $25,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 wholesaling deals. Never be priced the thing that you're better with your competition on. Credibility, speed, and convenience. Make it like that, and you can beat your competition just like that. The reason is why I make so much money wholesaling houses is I do not compete on price. I compete on that speed and convenience factor. I follow up with my sellers like crazy, and I can always be relatable and have my acquisitions people be relatable in wholesaling real estate. Now, you don't have to close just like me. You can close like yourself. I've taught so many wholesalers. I have so many people on my acquisition staff that I've taught to be elite closers. So really with any personality type, you can go out here and close motivated sellers too. If you want to learn exactly how to do this, make sure you go to my free wholesaling course, freewholesaling.com, where I break down exactly step-by-step how you can do this. And if you got any value from this video, do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. This is Zach Ginn signing out. Have a blessed one.